Salam Allah, Assalamu alaikum, Shalom, peace, Hotep, peace to the streets. I'm your brother in the struggle, Brother Minister Alifullah, and just got finished having to grab some little groceries and stuff like that there, and building on fruits and vegetables and the pros and cons of trying to survive in a capitalist system. And I want to drop two jewels on y'all today. One is, with inflation and food prices going up, you definitely want to shop around. I mean, I'm not endorsing those specific brand. I mean, if practical, you want to try to grow your own fruits and vegetables, buy locally, support black businesses, do all the things that we normally do. Use coupons. You might get certain stuff from this store, certain stuff from another store. But you have to use good judgment discretion, as the message told us in our lessons. But one of the things that we want to be mindful of is we're in what they consider the richest nation in the world, the United States of America. It's a capitalist system. The pros and cons all work in conjunction with one another, and the mentality of the average American is that we're used to the American comforts. We're used to the American standard of things. It could be sneaks, boots, clothing, cars, air travel, what have you. Certain things is just not practical. If you got a black rickety boat, you got a black raggedy airline, people be like, how safe is it? The customers are so used to traveling in comfort, with the big Boeing and all the other commercial airlines, that they may bankrupt your business by not supporting it. But at the same time, if you're doing something practical, like, back in the day, I remember the brothers and sisters used to be over Jersey, for example. They used to grow their own little fruits and vegetables on farms. And I clearly remember my grandfather, not really my grandmother. My grandmother didn't go with her. She would stay home. But my grandfather would load all of us, me, my cousins. We get all in the back of his station wagon. Back then, no seat belts. We don't recommend that in this day and time. But he'll drive us over Jersey and take us on these small farms. And when we get out there, we like 12, 13, 14, whatever. It's like paradise to us. Giant everything. We see cherry trees, pears, blueberries, strawberry patches, cantaloupes, watermelons all on the ground, and it's just Mother Nature doing her thing. And they used to give us like baskets. I remember as a young boy, I was like 10 years old, 12 years old. They gave me this basket that they made by hand. And they took and told me, they said, all the peaches that you can fill up in this basket, y'all get for like $2. So it was real cheap. So I was like, what if it's on? He said, as long as you don't spill them out, you could bring this back over here, you get all those pears, all those apples, all those blueberries. So we like making sure we piling this stuff up. My grandfather laughing. We, little small trees wasn't dangerous. We could climb the little small apple trees. We picking the apples, tossing them down, putting them inside the thing. We got the peaches. We used to get the pears. We used to pick the little the cantaloupes and watermelons and honeydew melons and grapes and strawberries and blueberries. And we had all this healthy fruits and vegetables that, was delicious for that matter. We take stuff to other family members, and that was what we called the good old days. Now, most of them small farms are gone. The big farms is taking over. Those little small farms to start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We're driving by some farms right now. Let me show y'all some of these farms. when it comes to the fruits and vegetables in this day and time, just because it's fruits and vegetables, you have to be careful. As the old proverb says, everything that glitters is not gold. There are things that you would think is healthy, and it's the last thing you should eat. There are meats that are 10 times worse than crack and alcohol. There are foods that are 10 times worse than fentanyl. There are pesticides that are 1,000 times worse than fentanyl. 1,000 times. And they put this stuff in bags, on fruits, on vegetables, and fish, and chicken, and beef. You may think that you're safe because you eat vegan. A vegan diet, in my opinion, would be the best way to eat in this day and time, but you don't want to be naive. There are vegan diets that will physically kill you in 1 minute. There are things in the vegan world, berries, roots, leaves, mushrooms, that if you ate just 1 cup, you would not wake up in the morning. So you got to know what you're doing when it comes to how to eat to live. Know what I mean? I want to give y'all some science as of 2022. Now it's not, I'll leave. I want y'all to check it out for yourself. Go on worldometers.info. They give you the scientists, they give you the chemicals, they give you the names. But I want to give y'all the simplistic version. These are the top 10 countries where when you go to the store and you see them fresh looking bananas and blueberries and grapes and honeydew, and they don't have no blemishes, they don't spoil you. Keep in mind, in nature, if you're eating, I'm just going to use this for example, it's December. If you're eating blueberries and strawberries and kiwi and bananas in December and they're not getting rotten, it's killing you on the inside. It's giving you cancer and countless diseases inside your temple, inside your body. So you want to be scientific in your approach to these things. Know what I mean? Meaning that in nature, seasons change. Mother Nature thing is, oh, after these 6 months, we kill these millions of fruits, vegetables, leaves, roots, grasses. And if you're still eating them in the wintertime and that's summer crops, you got to ask yourself, how's I'm eating this? How's this stuff here? Like, where's it coming from? That if it's coming from another country, how many highways did they have to drive these trucks down to get this to me, to this market, to my refrigerator? You know what I mean? And when you investigate the science of it, you realize like, oh, it's deeper than just buying local. And that's why Master Muhammad and his wisdom taught the MGTs, and shout out to the most goddess trusted Muslim girls in training for using preservatives and jarring their own food. That's the practicals. That's what white Amish girls do too, and guys. Now, I mean, those that know how to preserve that food, listen, that's stuff that great grandmom and them used to do down south. That's the way to go. That's the practical approach. You grow your fruits, your vegetables, and you preserve that stuff. You put it in, you get your masonry jars, and you vacuum pack that stuff, you dehydrate it, whatever the case may be, and now you're dealing with a healthier product. Know what I mean? But the 10 worst ones, let's look at this. I ain't gonna get into all of this, the mathematics, you know how I be with the math. I want to keep it, but to give you, I do want to give you ideas, so I'm gonna give you one math. But the top 10, these is the top 10 producers of pesticides when it comes to fruits and vegetables that are extremely cancerous to human beings. Number 1 producer, China. China this year produced 1.7 million tons of pesticides that reaches our food supply and goes into our body. Picture that for a minute. Imagine if they was to put it in, say they put it in buckets. Now, I mean, you say you took a bucket and filled up the bucket with some dry pesticide. It looked like, say, some white sand. You just filter this. It's just pure pesticide. Now, I mean, you pour some water in there. You can spray it on crops, fruits, and vegetables, whatever. And you have 1.7 million tons of that. Now, 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. All right. You got 1,700,000 tons of this stuff. Now, say you got, as far, like, say that's enough pesticide to fill up every house on your block in your county. That's how much poison we getting from fruits and vegetables. It is absolutely horrific. I mean, so China's the #1 producer that people with common sense is trying to get them to cut back. #2, of course, the good old USA. #3, Brazil. 4, Argentina. Then comes Canada. Then come the Ukraine, where the war is at right now. Then come France. Then come Malaysia. Then come Australia. And last comes Spain. Those are the 10 pesticide producing countries of the world. That is, now keep in mind, if China by herself is producing 1.7 million tons of pesticides on your fruits and vegetables, imagine America and all the other countries when they produce their pesticides, and all this stuff coming in our orange juice, our smoothies, our kale, our romaine lettuce, our pineapples, our mangoes, our kiwi fruits, our spices, our bark, our berries, mushrooms, whatever you're eating. Now, I mean, and keep in mind, it's also coming in our food supply. So the wheat, the barley, the oats, the cattle feed. So if you're eating meat, you're eating these pesticides. If you're a strict vegan, you're eating these pesticides. Now, I mean, are they harmful? I can tell you from personal experience. I was a vegan for like 10 years. I mean, strict vegan, eating 1 meal a day and all that kind of stuff. I'm not doing that in this day and time, but I used to do that when I was a younger man. And my body was detoxed, you know what I mean? This is FOI, workout, exercising, all that stuff. However, I took a banana and I peeled the banana and I broke a piece of the banana off and I ate the banana. And it was no problem instantly, but the next morning I felt funny when I got up. You know what I mean? And when I got up, it's like, yo, and I just looked at myself in the mirror. While I'm looking in the mirror, it's like a cartoon. I'm looking at my throat and my lips swelling all up like, oh, and it cut off my oxygen. Now, the only reason I'm physically alive, those FOIs that used to curse me out at FOI class, now I mean, back in the day, that training saved my life, because one of the things we used to do in our FOI training was we would literally have records of breathing. Now, I mean, like, most people could breathe, like hold that breath for say like 5-7 minutes. We was like non-smoking, non-eating crap. We was real healthy. So we used to do breathing exercise that you would believe is impossible in this day and time. So one of the things we used to do at FOI class, just Spider would literally pinch your nose and we would take and hold our breath and close our eyes to meditate, and he would take a digital watch and calculate how long you can hold your breath, and he'll write that in your record. And over 6 months to a year, you see how your lung capacity expands and how your body becomes more efficient. And this is why we used to win all the little Olympics. We used to have our own Nation for Islam Olympics, and you just be super strong. I mean, your muscles be so efficient, your brain would just be so powerful, your memory, all that. Now, I mean, because you're eating right, you're sleeping right, you're thinking right, you're doing right. You know what I mean? But I couldn't breathe, and because I had so much oxygen in my cells, I was able to survive. The doctor, she came and she shot me up with the needle and it didn't work. So they like, oh my God, he's gonna die, boo, man. So the doctor was like, how long he been without? So they shot me in my behind with this long needle, and as soon as they did that, the swelling and everything went down. They was like, oh, he got to go get checked out because, you know, we don't know if he's going to be brain damaged or what. I was like, I'm cool. She's like, no, you was going without oxygen too. I was like, miss, I was training for that. Now, I mean, you can see I'm in physical tip-top shape. At the time, the six-pack and all that stuff was. So she was like, well, still, I want you to go see the doctor, and we're going to do a full exam and go get you to see the specialist. And when I went to see the specialist and they took my blood work and all that, they found all these pesticides that was from the banana. And the doctor explained to me, listen, back in the day, you could just rinse fruit off. It's so bad now. His thing is like, listen, I'm gonna give you this magazine. He gave me a magazine for free called Vegan Times. Those of you that's vegetarians maybe, but that's my first time I heard of that magazine. And basically, they sell like dishwashing liquid. They got like produce washing liquid. You got to put it in a bin, put some of that stuff in, and literally wash the fruit and scrub it, and then rinse it and then dry it, just to get these deadly pesticides off the outside of the fruit. I'm looking at it like it's a banana, so all I gotta do, I'm just eating the inside of the banana. It's like, I ain't worrying about the orange, because it's like, I don't eat the peel. I have to peel the orange and throw the orange away. But he's like, nah, when you touch that orange, when you touch that banana, you got concentrated pesticide on your hand. So when you break off an orange slice and put the orange, you put in pure pesticides in your body. He said, I seen people die from this instantly. Vegetarians that die from eating a grape. That's how powerful these pesticides is. So back in the day, we could just eat natural fruits. You gotta modify your mathematics in this day and time, fam. Now, I mean, you gotta read the ingredients. You gotta look at what country the food is from. Now, I mean, I made a video. I'm gonna add it to this today. I just videotaped from last week and today. I'm giving you probably like 10 different countries. But the reason I'm showing you the countries, so you can see, where did this produce come from? Did it come from Mexico? Did it come from Canada? Did it come from Argentina, Brazil, whatever? You know what I mean? So that you'll have in your head a reference, guys, because now, you know, from seeing this video, you know what 10 countries produce the most pesticides. Now, I mean, 1.7 million tons of pesticides. You know, when you have a country as large as China with like 1 billion people in your population, it's just a practical matter. They'd be like, food spores, mold, fungus, kill all the crops. They like, we gotta use pesticides. You got such a huge population, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if you're growing stuff locally, if you're growing it yourself, if you're buying it from smaller farms, you may not have as many pesticides. That don't mean that you can't get it from there. That don't mean you can't get a healthy organic product from a big country. You just want to do your research, do your due diligence, and be careful. Eat to live and not to die. The struggle continues. One love. Peace, family. Now, these are actually small farms, you know what I mean? But they're bigger than the small farms from back in the day. But this is what we would consider small farms in 2022, you know what I mean? And they still had their pros and cons. They use more, as you can see, the tractors, they use more technology. They use more automated systems. They want the crop to be more efficient. But one of the things they also want is the bottom line. They want to make more money. And that's where this video comes in. Okay, so we put the limited limes in there. Got that cold ginger in there. But back to this here. Now, one of the things that we do, oh, also, you know, got that green tea, the English breakfast, that black tea, and raspberry tea, and that Earl Grey tea. Got that raw garlic. You need that raw garlic in the wintertime and summer, technically. But whenever we go out, try to shop locally. The local farms, farm fresh. But what I like to do, anytime I see a sale like this, blueberries, that fight cancer, only 99 cents, I might get 10 of these joints. And what I do, I just throw them in the freezer. I mean, and You could use them, you know what I mean, like eating a salad or something, just throw them in the salad the time you ready to eat. They be nice and thawed out. But we get the raspberries, the blueberries, what have you. You know what I mean? You know, your dragon fruits is rich in antioxidants like flavonoids, phenolic acid, you know what I mean, natural chemistry or chemistry, as they call it in this day and time. But basically, certain seeds, skins, and fruits, and even the leaves of certain vegetables, they real concentrated in enzymes that can actually prevent not just cancers, but actually help the stomach, you know what I mean, heal itself. You know what I mean, it gets absorbed through the large and small intestines. You know what I mean, and people like me, you know what I mean, you know, I might say if I'm walking down the street and I accidentally tripped and fell into a swimming pool of liquor, or I was walking down somewhere and I bumped into a cloud of a blunt and they smoking weed, and I mean, and you boom, you know what I mean, this will help bring balance back to the temple. You know what I mean, this help keep the body balanced out. You know what I mean, you stay sharp, your lesson's still there, you still can exercise, you know what I mean, you still can defend yourself, you're still ready for the revolution, still ready for the war, you know what I mean, and you good, you know what I mean, blood pressure, cholesterol levels, you're not where you're supposed to be, but you all right, you know what I mean, and that's what you want. You just want that you just want that balance, just balance it all out, you know what I mean. So if I eat some garbage or whatever, this is how I come right back to self. This is how I balance. This is how I keep myself balanced. Out that raw garlic, I throw that throw the red onions in there. You know what I mean? I throw some stuff, just throw it in the smoothie, whatever. You know what I mean? And you're good to go. One love, family. Eat to live, not to die. The struggle continues. Everything's grafted today. Fruit and broccoli.
I put the corner where you're at now. It's building straight over back in that back corner.
Got 10 limes for $1, 3 avocados for $1, 2 blueberries from Peru for $1. So stuff is just dirt cheap. Farmers market. Mexican tomatoes, only 99 cents. Raspberries, 99 cents. Candy bars, 4 for $1. We got the Lysol Power Bathroom Performance, $2. How much you usually pay for this?
Oh, that's a big bottle. You get this Walmart. It's like $3 or something. And it's a big laundry detergent.
They got Lysol for $3.50. How much you usually pay for it?
I used to get the big ones. Yeah, for something like that, it'd be like $5 to $6.
And you save on this.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is $7.99. How much will the Clorox? How much the Clorox usually cost?
Like $8.
These $3.29 for the Dawn Platinum Advance. They got the original Triscuits with 3 ingredients. It's nothing but whole grain wheat, canola oil, sea salt. Stone ground is better, but this is better than crackers. And it's only 99 cents. And you gotta check the dates, make sure you got a good date. It's good, December 2022. Great, mix this up for me and wifey. But the dragon fruit, for those that may have never tasted it, it's like I'm not positive, but I believe it's in like the kiwi family. You see all the seeds all in there. You know what I mean? Tastes delicious, like a mild kiwi. It's not as tart as a kiwi would be. It's a little more sweeter, but it tastes delicious, mixed with some blueberries and raspberries.
Bitch, I'm stylish. Glock talk, big t-shirt, Billy Eilish. Watch on my wrist, but I want that diamond.
Run around all day, get one of these organic smoothies. Delicious. Sheep and the cows out there chilling. Farmers with their small farm doing for self. It's all about Mother Earth. I don't care if you got an acre or 100 miles. That's what it teaches us. Land is the basis for independence. We got the hay ready. They're prepping the land for the winter. Harvest over, they done cut down all the main crops, the corn, what have you. I mean, they're tilling the land and getting ready for the cold season. So you see all the trees. It's gonna be for the fireplace, all the wood, lumber. Got the little silos and greenhouses to protect stuff and make their preservatives. Land bank. This is what it's about. Basis of independence, doing for self, making it happen. Look at this roof. The complete roof is solar panels. What do that mean? That means at tax time, that LLC deducts all that and get a vicious tax break. This is how it works. Understand the game. Don't hate the players. Quit playing the game. $4 for a dollar, not a big bag. $1.99 for the blueberry. Bananas 48 cents a pound. Romaine hearts only $2.49. 5 heads. 5 kiwis for $1. From the country of Chile. Cucumbers 3 for $1.